Okay, so in the last round of March of the Ants here, the playthrough video, the Blue Nest had just played Epic Cache of Eggs. It costs 2, and it gains 6 larvae. So, but this card is another card that can only be paid with ants on the board, so the Blue Nest will sacrifice these 2 ants off the board and gain 6 larvae into its larva chambers. The Black Nest will then, it's just going to go ahead and March of the Ants, marching these 2 more ants into here. 1, 2, and then 3, 4, and 5. So 1 step here, and a step through the tunnel. Each other nest can then move 1 ant that's on the board. The red nest is happy with its position, and so is the blue nest. So it comes to the red nest turn. Red nest is going to go ahead and forage again, drawing 2 cards. Each other nest gains 1 larva. And the blue nest is going to go ahead and rest. So it doesn't have any more food, doesn't have any cards. It's going to go ahead and rest, putting a larva on there. And the black nest is going to go ahead and rest as well. That ends the worker phase. They can move the larva up here. We come into the soldier phase. First battle is in tall sand. It's number 1. The acrobat head lets the red nest move up to 2 steps into or out of any contested hex. So it could either choose to flee here or it could send some reinforcements. It's just going to leave that 1 in there and see how this battle plays out. So red is the defender, and it has, or is the invader, and it has a total of 1 plus these 2 head evolutions that it has for 3. Black has just 2 ants in the hex. And then the red is the invader, has to choose if it wants to play a card first. We'll choose to play 1 card face down. The black nest will also choose to play a card and chooses to play this card. They are both a 3, so they each add 3 to their power. Red nest goes up to a total of 5 or 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the black nest has 5. So the red nest wins. The red nest, however, the red nest wins and destroys ants equal to the ants it has in the hex. It will only destroy 1 ant, so it destroys 1 black ant here. The black ant gets to choose which ants die. The black ants have 2 ants and destroy ants equal to half their army size, rounded down. But here, the lone survivor rule is that if a nest wins, its last ant can't be destroyed. So since red was victorious, its last ant will not die. It kills 1 black ant, and then this ant lives on and inhabits that food site. Red gains 1 colony point for winning the battle. And we come over to mud. In mud, there's quite a few ants involved in this skirmish right here. Looks like it's 5 against 5. And the black nest is the defender, inhabits that crown site. The blue nest has no cards, will choose not to play any cards. The defender site, besides getting points for the controlling hexes that are in the inner meadow and determine who plays a card first, defender will win in ties in a battle. And so it's 5 to 5 right now. So the black nest doesn't need to play any cards to win. So it's going to hold on to its cards. It's 5 versus 5. The black nest has 5 ants, destroys ants equal to the total it has on the board on the hex, which is 5. All the blue ants get wiped out. Blue destroys ants equal to half its total, so it destroys 2 black ants, and these 5 ants are returned to the supply. The black nest then gets to move its ants to inhabit any sites it wants. We'll go for the most plentiful rewards, and we'll gain a point for winning that battle. And now that's the end of the soldier phase. All the battles have been resolved, and so we come to the queen phase. We collect resources, and we collect resources in the final queen phase because there is, at the end of the game, there's end game bonuses for who has the most of each type of resource. So red gets 2 food and 2 cards. Oh, it gets 3 food actually, because there's a food over here that I missed. And the blue nest gets 6 larvae and 1 food. And the black nest gets 1, 2, 3 food. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 larva. And 1 card, 2 cards. So then we come to the slumber phase. Oh, there's a royal decree. There's feeding ants. So pardon me, getting a little ahead of myself. The feeding ant step. The red nest has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ants on the board. So something I hadn't talked about before, but each body segment gives a specific bonus if you have an evolution in there. The head bonus, you get the bonus to battle. It adds to your battle total, and we've seen that in action. The thorax bonus reduces the cost of action of the event cards, the red cards. Each cost is reduced by 1 for each thorax you have. And the abdomen bonus, what it does, besides giving the bonus of what the card does, is it increases your food economy. So 1 food, instead of feeding 4 ants, will feed 5 ants, which is really handy for the red ant. The red nest, because they have 5 on the board, it'll only require 1 food. The blue nest has 4 ants on the board again. Lucky for them, only costs that 1 food. And the black nest has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Again, costing it 3 food. Then we go to slumber, score stashed colony goals. Blue nest again has the most larvae, gains 2 points. And has 1 evolution there, we'll gain another point. And then we get points for the inner meadow hexes. Oh, I forgot to give the black nest a point here for collecting this crown site. So it gets 1 point back in the harvest phase. And then the defender sites, controlling these is 1, 2 for red. 1, 2. The black nest will get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. And the blue nest will just only get 1 for that single one they have. And then at the end of the game, there's bonuses awarded for the most of specific types of resources. The most food, the most larvae, and the most cards. Red has the most food with 1, 2, 3, and we'll get 3 points off of that. 1, 2, 3. The blue nest has the most larvae by far, gets 3 points. 1, 2, 3. As far as cards, we're going to have to see. It looks like the black nest has 6, and the red nest has 6 as well. So they will each score 1 point, which leaves the black nest in the lead here. They got 15 versus 12, so not too far of a game. If red had gotten 1 more card, they probably could have eked out a tie or victory. And so that's the game of March of the Ants, and that's how it's played. A couple things we didn't go over is that at the end of the game also there's points if you have a completed body, a whole ant that's completed. So for each complete ant you have, you would get 4 points. So if red had been able to find that 4th evolution, or that next evolution, which it was kind of foraging for, it would get another point. And we didn't really get into centipedes either, so I'll give you a quick overview of centipedes for those that are curious. Centipedes are a menace that are found in the meadow. Next hex that would have been explored has a centipede on it. You can see the little icon on there of the centipede. If it has a centipede icon, you place a centipede token onto that hex, and you'll have to battle the centipede in the soldier phase. The way that works is similar to the ant battle. You total the number of ants you have. At the beginning of the battle, you reveal 1 card. The POW is the centipede's base size, and then the player that's fighting it can play a card, and then the centipede will reveal another. So it has a size, a variable size between 2 and 8 that's random that you don't know. If you beat the centipede, you get a colony point and a food, and if you beat if you lose to the centipede, you get wiped out. So that's how centipedes work. You saw wormholes a little bit, and as we got into the outer meadow. So the black nest clearly dominated this game. They got out a bit more territory far and away in the beginning, and the other nests weren't able to dominate, but weren't able to come back. But you can see the blue nest had a little more of an interior strategy here. Didn't have as many ants on the board, but had a couple of colony goals working for it. And red nest was able to use its head evolutions to some advantage for sure. So there's a lot of different strategies you can employ, and the balance is a lot by the players controlling each other, going after So thank you very much for watching and following along with this playthrough. I hope it's been helpful, and please leave in the comments anything you'd like to see in future videos, anything that could be explained in more detail. And thank you for your interest in March of the Ants. Check us out on Kickstarter.